Hey guys, hi. So it's been a hot minute since I've done a video. So, life update. Today is August 28th. It is my birthday. I don't really plan to do too much today, just because of I do have Lorenzo, of course, but I don't really have any plans. I don't ever do anything. So I wanted to go get my nails done and my feet done. I wanted to go get my hair done. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I've had a good day so far. Lorenzo's actually napping, but I did just want to give y'all a little update on what's been going on here lately. So Lorenzo had to get his tonsils and his adenoids taken out. Tuesday was a week ago. So for anybody who is about to go through that with their baby, Lorenzo is 1, he'll be 2 actually Tuesday, but they always say to do it younger, while the baby is younger. It's better because of the size, well, the area of where the adenoids and tonsils is not like a big area, so the healing process is quicker than like if I was to get it. So we went in, well, the Thursday prior to surgery, because he had it on a Tuesday. The Thursday before, we had to go for, he had to get a COVID test done, of course. That did not go well at all. I had the option, or it was like basically like a walk-in type deal from 7 to 3. So I got off early at work that day. Lorenzo wakes up from his naps at 2:30. The place that we had to go was like the daycare's right here, and the COVID testing place is right there on the corner. So it took me like 2 minutes to get there. So got there, called. She told me to come on in. They put us in a room. 2 guys were suited up, of course. One guy held his head. Lorenzo sat in my lap, of course, but the other guy was doing it or whatever. And the lady on the phone, she actually told me that it was gonna be like a flu test. So I was like, okay, well, that won't be so bad. I just don't want them to shove it, way up there like I got when I had the test. So when I walked in there and the guys were suited up, I was like, oh my goodness, like I know this is fixing to be bad. Well, the dude told me, he said, okay, you're gonna have to hold him and hold his wrist, and the other guy was gonna hold his head, and I'm gonna swab real quick and we'll be finished. So Lorenzo, I told him, I said, I will try my best, but Lorenzo is a strong little baby, so I'm gonna try. And he was like, well, you're gonna have to hold him or whatever. And I was like, well, are you gonna stick it way up there? And he was like, well, yeah, I have to. And I was like, well, I was told it was gonna be like a flu test. And he was like, no, ma'am, we have to stick it up there to make sure we get accurate results. I was like, okay, whatever. At this point, I was like, it's either do it or don't get the surgery done. So Lorenzo, he did not like it, and they stuck it up there. I seen on the swab where a little blood came out. That's how far they stuck it up there, and I was so upset. But after he got it done, they gave him a sticker, they gave him a sucker, and he was good. He actually, we went outside, he actually wanted to go back into the building. Went back into the building, they gave him another sticker, and then we went back out to the car. So that part, I'm glad that part's over. So at the hospital here, at the surgery, it's like a same-day surgery area that you first go into. The previous day I went to get him pre-registered. That way that morning, the next morning, I wouldn't have to worry about that with being ill, cranky baby, hungry, thirsty. I was like, let me go ahead and try to do that. Did that. The lady told me that me and Lorenzo's dad, Josh, could both come in to the area since he was under 18. He's a minor. So we get there that morning. I come home, tell Josh, you can come with me tomorrow. Cool. Pack our bags and all, get there the next morning. As soon as we walk in there, she's like, there's only one parent allowed, ma'am. And I was like, no. The lady who told us the surgery time actually told us that both of us can be here with him since he is under 2. And they were saying not in this area because we are limited space or whatever, and we're just allowed one parent with a child. Maybe in the actual hospital you can have 2 people, you'll just have to ask them on the floor. Whew, that really made me mad because this was the first time that Lorenzo has ever had surgery. So I needed Josh there. I wanted Josh there, and I know Lorenzo wanted Josh there too. And Josh wanted to be there. Of course, that's his son. First time going back, having surgery. Um, so he went and sat out in the car. I got him checked in, went to the room. The nurse came in, the anesthesia guy came in, and then the doctor who actually done his surgery came in and talked with me. Just made sure that I was okay with everything. He didn't have any fever, anything like that. Just to answer any questions that I had. And Dr. Gigg's nurse, the doctor who actually done his surgery, his nurse came in to talk to me about post-op instructions and what I needed to look for, what did I need to do for recovery and all. And if you've never had tonsils, your tonsils or adenoids taken out like me, you didn't know what to expect. So she told me what to do, popsicles, any type of liquid, and that he may not eat when he got finished, but that is, fine as long as he's getting his liquid so he doesn't get dehydrated. And she also told me that it would be normal for him to run fever if he did, and that it would fluctuate, his temperatures would fluctuate if anything, and that he was going to have very bad breath, which is very true, and that's from the scabs and all, and he may cough up blood, but he couldn't have anything hard or anything like that. But the surgery itself, well, let me back up. They came in, they asked that I want to sedate him before they took him back. I was already kind of flustered. With everything, with Josh not being there, Lorenzo running around the room, being a typical toddler. I'm trying to talk to the nurse. I'm trying to keep my eye on him, and trying to listen. I was just a little over. I did not let them sedate him. I just told them that they could put the mask on before they did anything, before they did the IV and all. And I honestly, truly feel like I should have let them sedate him before they took him back. But when they came in to take him back, he was very sweet. He was nice. He actually went to the nurse who actually took him back. Lorenzo, he's a very sweet baby, so I wasn't really worried about him, crying, going away from me. It was just what was going to happen back there. And I wasn't thinking about that until after. I was like, oh my goodness, like I should have sedated him, or not me, I should have let them sedate him before, he went back there, because it's all new and he's probably going to be like, where am I at? Well, the surgery itself did not last long. I had to go into the waiting room after they took him back, and they called me to let me know that they were getting ready to get started. And everything went well with that. He did get a breathing tube. He was under anesthesia, and he also had an IV. So they called me when they got started. From the time they got started to the next call was probably 15 minutes, if that. It was fairly quick, but it was the longest 15 minutes of my life, because I feel like I couldn't breathe, because there's a chance, whether me or Lorenzo goes under, there's always a chance that something can happen and you could, not wake up. So I was just worried about that, and I knew that he was going to be fine. I knew, because I prayed. Everybody prayed for him. He has a good support system, and I just knew, I trusted Dr. Gig. He's been doing it for a very long time, so I trusted him. Lorenzo did good during surgery. They said he called me as soon as he was finished. He was in recovery for about 30 minutes. They went ahead when they called me and told me that he was out of surgery. Probably about 10 minutes later, they called me with the room that we had to go to in the actual hospital part. Went over there, and Josh came over there then. He was allowed in because Lorenzo was under the age of 18, so they let him in. As soon as we get up on the floor, the nurse and Lorenzo, they're walking around the corner. He is cranky. The nurse, she said, "Are you Miss Wood?" I was like, "Yes." So she was like, he just wanted his mama, and I just wasn't cutting it. So I got him. He calmed down. He was still in and out of it, coming off of the anesthesia, which is expected for them to be very cranky, coming off of that, and also coughing from being under the anesthesia, and the breathing tube can cause the baby to cough, which Lorenzo was coughing, but he had a cough prior to the surgery, so that also had me a little worried, but he was fine. And I think that Lorenzo stayed so sick because he couldn't breathe, and there was basically nowhere for that stuff to go. All his snot and mucus and all that just didn't have anywhere to go, and it was just basically stuck. I did ask them to take a picture of his tonsils for me, which they did, and when I seen them, I was like, I knew then. Before, I knew that it needed to be done, but once I seen his tonsils in that picture, I knew that I did make the right decision. And Josh, he was very surprised too, because Josh didn't want to let Lorenzo have the surgery. He wanted to try other things before, but Lorenzo was, he did stop breathing in his sleep from the snoring and his tonsils being so big as they were. So once we seen them, we knew that that was the correct thing to do for Lorenzo and his health. Now Lorenzo, he has stopped snoring after the surgery. I actually have to check him because it's just weird not having Lorenzo snoring, calling the cows home. So it's just kind of weird, but it is a good thing. It's a good feeling knowing that he is resting better now since he got those tonsils and adenoids out. But as far as recovery went, Lorenzo, as soon as he got back to the room, he was asleep for a little while. But as soon as he woke up and he realized that me and his dad was there, he done very well. He wanted something to drink, and he wanted his popsicles and his Jello, and it was just, we were very surprised at how well he did. Even the nurses, they were very surprised on how well he was doing, because it was like, kids, they just don't do that. They don't drink, they don't eat the popsicles like Lorenzo is, and he just done very well. And they say, like, at nighttime, that's when it gets worse, or that's when it really gets real, as far as like fevers and stuff like that. Lorenzo, thank goodness, he done good the first night in the hospital. He did get he did get very irritated with having to take the Tylenol and Motrin every 3 hours. At first, during the day, he was doing really good with it, and then at night, he was just like, look, I'm over this. I'm done taking this medicine. I don't want any more. I don't feel anything right now, but I don't need this. And we had to fight with him to get him to take the medicine. They did not prescribe us any pain meds. He wasn't showing any signs of pain. He didn't wake up screaming or anything, but I did see in his chart, when the nurse was in there, that they did have hydrocodone and something else. I guess just like a backup if Lorenzo did need it, but of course Tylenol and Motrin. But we did not have to have the pain medicine. And I also asked the nurse, was that something that we were going to get sent home with, and she did tell me no, that they don't really give kids, they try not to give kids pain medication until they are a little older. So I was nervous about that, but Lorenzo, he done just fine with the Tylenol and Motrin. For his weight, he was getting like 7.5 milliliters in Motrin and then 5 milliliters of children's Tylenol. But that is just for Lorenzo's weight, of course. Do not try to give medication, any dosage of medication, without getting the okay from your doctor that it is the correct amount. The nurse, she actually gave me a piece of paper with the correct amounts on it, just in case if I forgot or anything. But in the hospital, they were doing it, I think, every 4 to 5 hours maybe. But once we got home, we were able to do it every 3 hours, rotating them every 3 hours. And Lorenzo is also on Singulair at night, so he also takes that. But we only done the Tylenol and Motrin. Let's see, he had the surgery done on Tuesday. I think maybe Saturday or Sunday. We kind of stopped, and then I sent him with a syringe of Tylenol to daycare Monday and Tuesday. He has Tylenol at daycare is what I'm trying to get at. Just in case if he does need it now. The only thing that I've seen him do is really just kind of hold at his ear, and he'll say that his mouth hurts, which is normal. They said that the ear pain is caused from all of that. It's all connected, and his jaw can hurt, but he's also getting ready to turn 2, so he could be cutting the 2-year molars also. But I just pay attention to him. I listen to him. When he tells me that something is hurting, I do try to ask him what is hurting and see what he says. He has been pointing at his mouth. So I do give him Tylenol when he tells me that, just in case, because, him cutting teeth can be painful too, just as well as the jaw pain. It could be his throat. So I just do give him Tylenol just in case for that, but I do not do it every 3 hours now. I do recommend, and I'm no nurse, no doctor, nothing like that, but I do recommend that if they do tell you that your child does need the surgery, I would go ahead and get it. The younger, the better. I do feel like this is going to be, it's just only going to go up from here for Lorenzo, because I just feel like if you are snoring and you are if you are not breathing in your sleep, not enough oxygen is getting to your brain. So with Lorenzo being as young as he is, he's not getting the proper oxygen to his brain, which means he is not learning. He is not growing the way he is supposed to. He is not sleeping the way he is supposed to. Sorry, I'm gonna get my words correct. Lorenzo, prior to this, Lorenzo would also wake up cranky, and that may have been from his head hurting. And then on top of that, he just wasn't resting. Lorenzo was waking up throughout the night. Lorenzo has never slept through the night on a regular basis. So fingers crossed. I am hoping once we get settled after all of this, I'm hoping that he does start sleeping through the night. We actually have his toddler bed in our room with us next to our bed. That did help us with him waking up. And then with him snoring the way he was, we would know, we would kind of know when he would, stop breathing. But if something was to happen, he is right there. And even now, he does wake up once to get in our bed with us. I do let him get in the bed with us. If you do not co-sleep with your kids, that is your decision. We have always let Lorenzo sleep in the bed with us. I did breastfeed him, so it was just kind of easier for me to get rest, for him to get rest. I would feed and kind of doze off, and Lorenzo, he would just unlatch when he was finished. So that's just what worked for me, and it kind of stuck. But now that he has gotten his tonsil and his adenoids taken out, once he gets adjusted to everything and he actually starts sleeping well, we do plan on getting Lorenzo solely in his bed and moving his bed into his room. We are also getting ready to start working on potty training, but that I will save that for a whole nother video of tips that worked for us. Any information that we got. His teacher at his daycare is absolutely wonderful so far. He actually just moved up to his new classroom. So far so good. They are all sweet, and Lorenzo loves his teacher. And Lorenzo also loves his friends. But if you have any questions, comments, if your baby has had their tonsils and adenoids taken out, please leave a comment below and let me know if you could tell a big difference or not. Thank y'all, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.